Do you actually know you're safeguarding, or are you just guessing? Every nursery practitioner will tell you that safeguarding is their number one priority. But when an Ofsted inspector sits down and starts firing off scenarios, priority isn't enough. You need absolute confidence. Ofsted approved settings require staff to be confident, not just compliant. So today we're doing the ultimate earliest safeguarding mock test. I have 40 questions covering everything from basic fundamentals to expert level disclosures. So before we start, I want you to grab a pen and paper right now so you can keep score. To pass my Open Nursery gold standard, you need to score at least 35 out of 40. If you're a manager watching this, pause the video here, cast it to the screen in your staff room, and let's test your team. And a quick bonus, if you get to the end of the quiz and realize your knowledge is a bit rusty, or you want to get an official certificate for your folder, I have an Ofsted approved, CDP verified level 2 safeguarding course. And because you're watching this video, you can get 20% off using the code SAFEYouTube at checkout. The link is in the description. So are we ready to go? Is your pens ready? So let's start round one. This round is all about the core definitions. I'll read the questions. You'll get 5 seconds on the clock, and then I'll reveal the answer. Starting with question 1. What are the 4 main categories of child abuse? The answer: physical, emotional, sexual, and neglect. These are the 4 statutory categories recognised across the UK. Every concern you log will ultimately fall under one of these 4 umbrellas. Ready for question 2? What is the name of the statutory document that outlines the safeguarding requirements for all early providers in England? The Early Years Foundation Stage, or EYFS Statutory Framework. This is your legal rulebook. It's not optional, it's the law. Question 3. What does DSL stand for? Designated Safeguarding Lead. Every setting must have a designated practitioner who takes lead responsibility for safeguarding children. Question 4. True or false? You should only report a safeguarding concern if you're 100% certain that abuse is taking place. The answer is false. It is never your job to investigate. Your job is to observe, record, and report. If you have a concern, you pass it to your DSL and let the professionals piece the puzzle together. Question 5. Which category of abuse involves persistent failure to meet a child's basic physical and psychological needs? Yes, it's neglect. Neglect is the most common form of child abuse in the UK. It can include failing to provide adequate food, clothing, shelter, or medical care. 6. What is the primary role of LADO? The local authority designated officer, or LADO, manages allegations made against adults who work with children. If a staff member in your setting is accused of harming a child, your DSL or you must contact the LADO within 1 working day. Question 7. True or false? Emotional abuse is always accompanied by physical signs like bruises. It's false. Emotional abuse leaves no physical marks at all. It destroys a child's confidence and sense of self-worth invisibly. Number 8. At what age does the EYFS statutory framework stop applying to children? It's age 5, or more specifically, the 31st of August following their 5th birthday. While child protection laws cover everyone under 18, the specific EYFS regulations apply from birth to 5. Number 9. What is a low-level concern? Answer: any concern about an adult's behaviour towards a child that does not meet the threshold of an allegation. Recording low-level concerns are important. It creates a culture of transparency and stops poor practice from escalating into actual abuse. Last one of round 1. Can physical abuse be accidental? No. By definition, physical abuse is non-accidental harm. Accidents happen, but abuse is an intentional act or a reckless failure to protect. Okay, that's round 1 done. Tally up your scores. If you've missed more than 2 in that round, you might need to refresh your level 2 basics. These are the non-negotiables. So now let's make it a bit harder. Round 2, signs and symptoms. Here we're looking at red flags. I'm going to give you a scenario and you need to tell me what type of abuse it most likely indicates or how you should react. So starting with question 11. A child frequently arrives at nursery in the middle of winter without a coat and they regularly smell strongly of stale urine. What type of abuse is this a primary indicator of? Neglect. The failure to provide appropriate clothing for the weather and maintain basic hygiene are classic signs of neglect. Question 12. A parent says their child burned their hand accidentally on a radiator, but the burn mark is a perfect small circle that looks like a cigarette burn. What do you do? The answer: you record the parent's explanation exactly as said, but immediately report the inconsistent injury to your DSL. An injury that doesn't match the explanation given is a massive red flag for physical abuse. Number 13. A normally outgoing child suddenly becomes completely withdrawn, aggressive towards peers, and starts wetting themselves despite being potty trained for a year. What could this indicate? This indicates a significant behavioural indicator of abuse or extreme distress. Sudden, unexplained regression in development or drastic personality changes means something is wrong in that child's world. Number 14. A 3-year-old child becomes demonstrating explicit sexual knowledge and vocabulary that is far beyond their developmental age. What category of abuse must you consider? This is sexual abuse. Children do not naturally know explicit sexual terminology or behaviours. If they are acting it out, they have likely witnessed it or been subjected to it. Number 15. You notice bruises on the shins and knees of a toddler who is just learning to walk and cruise around furniture. Is this an immediate indicator of abuse? Answer is no, usually. Bruises on bony prominences like shins, knees, and foreheads are typically accidental injuries for mobile toddlers. However, you should still log them. 16. A child constantly flinches when an adult raises their voice, even if it's just to get the room's attention, and they constantly seek excessive approval from staff. What type of abuse does this suggest? So this could be either emotional abuse or physical abuse. Flinching suggests a fear of physical retaliation, while desperate people-pleasing can stem from a highly critical, emotionally abusive home environment. Number 17. A child is constantly scavenging for food from other children's lunchboxes and hoarding half-eaten sandwiches in their pockets. What is this an indicator of? This is neglect through deprivation of food. Food hoarding is a survival mechanism. If a child doesn't know when the next meal is coming at home, they will scavenge wherever they can. Question 18. You notice fading finger mark bruises on the soft tissue of a child's upper arm or torso. Are these typical accidental injuries? No. Bruising on soft tissue like the torso, cheeks, backs, or upper arms, or bruises in the shape of a hand are highly suspicious and strongly indicate physical abuse. 19. A parent repeatedly ignores their child at drop-off, pushes them away when they try to hug them, and calls them stupid and useless in front of staff. What category of abuse is this? It's emotional abuse. Actively rejecting a child and using degrading language completely undermines their emotional development. Number 20. You notice a red flag and want to ask the child about it. Should you ask, did your dad hit you? Answer is absolutely not. That is a leading question. If you put words in a child's mouth, you can ruin a police investigation. You must only use open questions like, tell me about your arm. Put your pens down for a second. Take a breath. We are officially halfway through. How are your scores looking? If you're finding these tricky, especially at last round on signs and symptoms, please don't panic. Recognizing the signs of abuse is incredibly complex, and it's exactly why continuous training is a statutory requirement. But I'm going to be honest with you. If you are a nursery manager or practitioner looking to step up in your career, you cannot just rely on guessing. You and your whole team need to have a certified Ofsted approved qualification that sits in your staff file and proves your competence. If you want to get that sorted today, check out my level 2 early safeguarding course. It covers all of this and more. And because you are taking this time to watch this video and test your knowledge, I want to reward that. Use the code SAFEYouTube at checkout for 20% off right now. I'll put a link in the description below. Get your certificate, put it in your folder, and walk into your next Ofsted inspection with complete confidence. Alright, break over. Pick up your pens. Let's get straight into round 3. This is around procedures and disclosures. This is where most people fail their mock test. Recognizing abuse is one thing. Knowing exactly how to handle it legally is another. So let's see how sharp your procedural knowledge is. Question 21. A child comes up to you and says, "Please don't tell anyone, but my dad hurts me." What is the absolute first thing you must tell them? You firstly reassure them, but you must tell them that you cannot keep it a secret. You must never promise confidentiality to a child. You must explain gently but clearly that to keep them safe, you have to tell someone who can help. Number 22. When a child makes a disclosure, what type of questions are you permitted to ask? You can only ask open questions or no questions at all. You can use prompts like, "Tell me more," but you must never ask leading questions like, "Did she hit you with a belt?" Your job is to listen, not investigate. 23. You need to record a child's disclosure on your settings safeguarding form. Should you translate what they said into professional formal language? Absolutely not. You must write down the exact word the child used, even if there are swear words or childish terms for body parts. Changing language changes the evidence. 24. What is the definition of whistleblowing in early years? This is escalating a concern to an outside agency like Ofsted or LADO when internal management fails to act. If your DSL or manager is ignoring a concern, or if they are the concern, your legal duty is to protect the child, which means reporting outside of your nursery. Number 25. You witness a colleague grabbing a child by the arm roughly and shouting in their face. Do you report this to the parents first or the DSL or manager? You report it to the DSL or nursery manager immediately. You do not address the parents or the colleague yourself. You immediately escalate it to the DSL, who will contact the LADO to manage the allegation against the staff member. 26. You have a gut feeling about a child. They just seem a bit off and unkept lately, but you have no proof of abuse. What should you do? As with all other concerns, record it. This will be a low-level concern, but you still need to share it with a DSL. Never ignore a gut feeling. Recording these small, low-level concerns allows the DSL to build a timeline. 5 gut feelings over a month might reveal a clear pattern of neglect or abuse. Number 27. It's 5:55. Your shift is ending and you're putting your coat on. A child makes a serious disclosure to you. What do you do? The answer, you go home and wait until the morning to record it. No, of course not. You take off your coat, you stay, listen, and record it immediately, and then report it to the DSL before anyone leaves the building. Safeguarding does not run on the clock. A serious disclosure must be dealt with immediately on the same day before the child goes home to potentially face more harm. 28. According to the EYFS, what is the maximum time you have to report an allegation made against a member of staff to LADO? The answer is within 1 working day. Speed is critical to ensure the safety of the children and to secure any evidence or witnesses before stories change. 29. You report a serious concern to your manager. They tell you, don't worry about it, that family is just going through a messy divorce. Leave it alone. What is your next step? Answer, you must whistleblow to the local safeguarding partnership or Ofsted. Why? Because this manager's response is inadequate. The child's safety is paramount, and if leadership is failing to act, the responsibility to escalate falls to you. Final one on this part, number 30, true or false. If a child has an unexplained injury, you should take a photograph of it on your personal mobile phone to show the DSL. Answer's false. Never, under any circumstances. Using a personal device to photograph a child, especially their injuries, is a severe safeguarding breach and a disciplinary offence. Use an accurate body map drawing or a proper reporting form instead. That was a lot of questions to digest, but it is the reality of the job. Procedures save lives. If you drop points in that round, review your settings, whistleblowing and recording policies the next time you're in. But welcome to the final round. If you want to be a DSL, a manager, or just an exceptional practitioner, this is the knowledge you must have. Here we are looking at high-level legislation and the brand new 2026 EYFS updates. So let's finish strong. Number 31. What is the prevent duty? This is a legal duty placed on early providers to have due regard to the need to prevent people from being drawn into terrorism or radicalization. It's about spotting the signs that a family or a child is being exposed to extremist views and intervening early. Question 32. In child protection law, children who live in homes where domestic abuse takes place are no longer just called witnesses. Under the Domestic Abuse Act 2021, what are they legally recognized as? Under the Domestic Abuse Act 2021, are victims of domestic abuse in their own right. Hearing or experience the effects of domestic abuse causes severe emotional trauma, whether the child has been physically in the room or not. Number 33. What does county lines refer to? It's where urban criminal gangs use vulnerable children to transport and sell drugs into rural areas. While it mostly affects older children, early years staff must know this term as older siblings of the nursery children could be at risk, directly impacting the family dynamics. Number 34. Does GDPR, which is around data protection, prevent you from sharing a safeguarding concern with children's social care without the parent's permission? No. Safeguarding supersedes data protection. If asking for parents' permission would put a child at greater risk, you bypass them and share the information directly with the authorities. Question 35. What does FGM stand for? Female genital mutilation. It is illegal in the UK and is a severe form of child abuse. Early practitioners must be trained to spot the signs, especially if a child is taken on a sudden extended holiday abroad. 36. Under new explicit 2026 EYFS safer sleep rules, what must a baby aged 1 year or under be placed into sleep? A cot. Sleep mats or floor cushions are explicitly banned for infants under 12 months in the new statutory framework. Question 37. True or false? According to the 2026 EYFS update, it is acceptable to leave a soft comfort teddy in a cot with a sleeping 10-month-old. False. The cot must be completely clear of toys, bumpers, pillows, or loose items to prevent the risk of suffocation. Number 38. What is a statutory room temperature requirement for a nursery sleep room? The answer is between 16 degrees and 20 degrees Celsius. Why? Because overheating is a primary risk factor for sudden infant death syndrome, also known as SIDS. Penultimate question, number 39. Under 2026 Safer Sleep Guidance, what is a specific supervision requirement for a baby under 6 months old? An adult must always be in the same room with them for the duration of every sleep. You cannot rely on physical checks every 10 minutes or baby monitors for infants under 6 months. Constant physical presence is required. And the final question, number 40. Who holds the ultimate responsibility for safeguarding in your setting? Is it the DSL, the manager, or Ofsted? The answer is none of the above. Safeguarding is everyone's responsibility. The DSL takes the lead, but the responsibility to observe, record, and protect falls on every single person who steps foot in that building. So pens down, that's it. 40 questions of intense real-world safeguarding. Take a moment to add up your scores and let's see where you stand. If you scored between 0 and 25, then that is a safeguarding risk. This isn't to feel bad, but do take action. If Ofsted asks you these questions tomorrow, your setting may be in trouble, so you need to review your statutory guidance. And remember, this isn't a bad thing. It's good that it's highlighted now and it's a chance to improve your practice so that your safeguarding practices is better for your children. If you score between 26 and 34, this is good, but maybe you're a bit rusty. You likely nailed the fundamentals, but got tripped up on the exact procedures or the new 2026 legislation. So you may benefit from a refresher to close those gaps. And if you scored 35 to 40, then incredible work. You have the knowledge that's closer to a designated safeguarding need, and you should be incredibly proud of that. But listen, safeguarding isn't something we do just to pass a quiz. It's a shield that protects children that can't protect themselves. But laws change, frameworks update, and it's very easy for your knowledge to slip out of date. If this quiz has showed you that you have some gaps, or if you've just realised you don't actually have a recognised certificate in your staff file, let me help you sort that out today. My level 2 early years safeguarding course is Ofsted approved, fully certified, and takes you through everything we've covered today in much greater detail at your own pace. Because I want as many practitioners fully trained as possible, use code SAFEYouTube at checkout and it will give you a 20% discount across the entire course, whether you're booking 10, 20 for your staff or you're booking an individual for yourself or one member. The link is right at the top of the description. Send it to your manager, get your team qualified, and walk into work tomorrow knowing you're fully equipped to protect your children. But before you go, put your scores in the comments below. I want to see how you all did. Be honest. And if you found this helpful, hit subscribe and share this video with your nursery WhatsApp groups to test your colleagues. For more support with your EYFS, click the videos on the screen now. I'm Kurt Yanya. I want to wish you all the best. Keep your children safe and I'll see you on the next video. God bless.